Yo, what's good everyone? It's great to be back on the Mayo Media Network. My name's Griffin Swanson and I'm here to break down the Saturday, February 27th NHL DFS slate. Now we got 10 games on this slate here, and honestly, there's a lot to love about this slate, but I'm going to go through and break down some of my favorite line stacks and individual plays for Saturday. But before we do that quite yet, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, turn on those notifications. Pat and his team at the Mayo Media Network are posting content Monday through Sunday. Don't miss out on any of that. And hey, if you're more of a podcast person, check out the Apple Pods as well. All of the content is posted there, and hey, leave a 5-star review while you're at it. And hey, by now you've had to have heard of Prize Picks, right? If not, you gotta check it out. Pretty damn easy to play. And if you're a first-time user, use code MMN for a $100 match deposit. Here's how Prize Picks works. What they're gonna do is they're gonna list out a handful of players for any given slate, assigning them to a fantasy score. You need to bet the over or bet the under on that fantasy score. And here's how players can rack up points. It's 3 points for a goal, 2 points for an assist, half a point for a shot on net, and half a point for a block shot. It's that easy. That's the only way they can rack up points. So again, all you need to do is bet the over or bet the under on those fantasy scores. So I made a couple of prize picks myself for Saturday, sent those over to the Mayo Media team. Make sure you stay tuned as they'll be posting those on the Mayo Media Network Twitter account. But alright, let's dive into the spreadsheet here, kicking it off with my favorite line stacks. The first line I want to highlight is that first line out of Winnipeg. We got Scheifele centering Blake Wheeler and Pierre-Luc Dubois. Now, these guys have been awesome in the first couple of games playing together, and it has only been 2 games, but in those 2 games, they've combined for 6 goals and 10 assists, 16 points in their first 2 games together. Those are unreal numbers. They likely will regress at some point, but I'm going to ride them while they're hot here. You're going to see Scheifele and Wheeler play on that first power play, whereas Pierre-Luc Dubois does play on the second power play, but enough 5-on-5 time between these 3 that I will roll them out as a line stack. And Pierre-Luc Dubois only being $4,200, I would justify that if he didn't get any power play time, because again, these guys have been awesome here in their first 2 games. And playing a Montreal team here that is clearly struggling, just fired their head coach a couple of games ago. That didn't bode well for them in their first game with their new head coach. Lost that game 6-3 to this Jets team. So again, I'm going to ride out this first line while they continue to remain hot. The next line stack here is going to be that first line out of Colorado. So we got McKinnon centering Landeskog and Rantanen. Now, these guys haven't been spectacular, at least compared to what we've seen them be in the past, but I do believe a blow-up game is coming. They're playing on back-to-back nights here against the Arizona Coyotes, so they're likely going to see backup goaltender on the Coyote side, Antti Raanta. Ranta's allowed at least 3 goals in all 3 of his starts this year, so that's intriguing first and foremost, but I truly believe that this is one of the best lines in hockey. And again, although they haven't been spectacular this year, I do think a blow-up game is coming. If you just go look at their numbers, you're going to be like, man, these guys are playing pretty good. Yes, they are still playing pretty good, but not the way that we've been accustomed to seeing them play in the past. And there's a lot of chemistry here. There's a lot of talent on this line, and you're going to see all 3 of these guys play on that first power play. So even though they haven't quote-unquote been spectacular, I'm going to go back to them once again here against the Coyotes on back-to-back nights. All right, now hopping on down here to my favorite individual plays. We're going to kick it off with the forwards, and one guy who has been spectacular this year is Patrick Kane. Has 10 goals, 21 assists, 31 points in his first 21 games. He's on a 3-game goal streak right now, and he has double-digit DraftKings points in 8 of his last 10. So he's playing lights out. If you want to, you could stack him up with Alex DeBrincat. You can even put Suter in there and do a line stack as well. They are playing the Detroit Red Wings, so I absolutely love this matchup, but Patty Kane has been great all season, and just over the last 10 games has really been unreal. So I'm going to roll with him here even at this price tag of $8,800. He's going to play big minutes. He's a guy that shoots the puck a lot, and you're going to see him play on that first power play. So honestly, I don't really care who the opponent is. The way he's playing, I would likely have him in some of my lineups, but ultimately gets the Detroit Red Wings here, one of the worst teams in hockey, so love Patty Kane on this slate. The next guy here, Leon Leon Draisaitl at $8,300, 10 goals, 24 assists, 34 points in his first 22 games. Another guy that's playing unreal to start the season here. Now I want to mention this. I still like Connor McDavid, but he's very expensive at $9,200. And part of the reason I'm highlighting Draisaitl here now is because Austin Matthews is a game-time decision in this game. Now, if he plays, I think this game is great for game stacking. You can roll out a bunch of different players in this game. There's definitely some shootout potential there. But if Matthews doesn't play, I like Draisaitl even more because then you'll likely see Tavares move into the first-line center slot or at least try and shadow Connor McDavid. I don't know if anybody can really do that in the NHL. McDavid is unreal, but that should open some things up for Draisaitl. So keep that in mind as well. But either way, if Matthews does play, I like Draisaitl here. I like this game in general. I mean, the guy has 34 points already this season, so it's kind of hard to ignore him. Now, one guy you can probably get at lower ownership is Logan Couture here at $6,300. He's got 7 goals and 3 assists in his last 10 games. Firing the puck a lot more as of late, too. Plays on that first line, plays on that first power play, and he's averaging 12.6 DraftKings points over his last 10 games, so essentially 2x his price tag. Right away, that sticks out to me. Now, he's got a tougher matchup here against the St. Louis Blues, but he just played them last Saturday and scored 2 goals. So again, this guy's heating up right now, and really doesn't matter what the matchup is. Hockey players, when they get hot, I tend to ride those guys out. Couture here's got 7 goals in his last 10 games, so again, that's hard to ignore. So I'm going to roll with him here at $6,300, and again, I mentioned we can likely get him at lower ownership, considering there's 10 games on this slate. Plus, nobody really loves playing those West Coast teams, so Logan Couture at $6,300 with low ownership, sign me up for that. And then the last forward here, Matt Zuccarello. He's only played 6 games so far this year, but in those 6 games, he has been very noticeable. Playing on that second line right now for the Minnesota Wild, and you could argue that second line is the best line for them right now. The chemistry is very real, and they're very affordable if you want to roll them out as a line stack. But Zuccarello here, like I said, played well in his first 6 games, has 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points, and he's riding a 5-game point streak right now. So you're actually going to see him play on that first power play. A guy this cheap that's playing this well with power play time that he's getting certainly sticks out to me. Like I said, I'm going to ride the hot hand while I can, and Zuccarello certainly has been hot here to start the 2021 season. Moving over to the defenseman here. First guy got Victor Hedman at $6,900. So if I'm going to pay up for defenseman, which I will on this slate, he's a guy that sticks out to me. Honestly, I think he's the best defenseman in the NHL on both ends of the ice. You could argue there's probably some more talented offensive defensemen, but in just terms of well-rounded defensemen, this would be the guy that I choose. At $6,900 here, I do believe he should be above $7K, and while it's technically right there, I believe we're kind of getting him at a discount here. 4 goals, 15 assists, 19 points in his first 18 games. Any defenseman that averages a point per game, they're going to stick out to me, especially a guy with this much talent. Going to play huge minutes. We could see him play anywhere from 23 to 27 minutes in this game. Going to play on that first power play. And again, he's averaging a point per game to start the season, 12.4 DraftKings points per game as well. So if I can afford it, I definitely want to pay up for this guy here. The next defenseman I got here is Devon Toews, playing really well with the Colorado Avalanche this year. Came over from the New York Islanders last year, so he's with his new team, but hasn't missed a beat whatsoever. Has double-digit DraftKings points in 7 of his last 10 games, and a guy that can really get it done on both ends of the ice. He can get on the score sheet, he will shoot the puck, plays on that second power play, but he'll also block shots as well. Playing on that penalty kill, he's bound to do that. So this is, again, a guy that can really rack up DraftKings points in a number of different ways. Plays a lot of 5-on-5 time with Cale Makar as well. So while he's kind of the anchor for those guys, Cale Makar, he's going to let him roam free a little bit, kind of act as a forward at times. It's always great when you're playing with a guy that's that talented. And again, Devon Toews has made the most of that with his new team. So $5,900, his price is starting to creep up a little bit here, but double-digit DraftKings points in 7 of his last 10 games. I want some exposure to that. And then a cheaper defenseman play that I got for you guys here is Mike Matheson at $3,500. He's just playing better hockey this year with his new team, the Pittsburgh Penguins. I actually highlighted him last Saturday on this show at $3,000. Now he's $3,500. So when you get a price bump up, you're obviously playing better hockey, and he has played solid here with the Penguins to start the year. He's only played 10 games, but over his last 4 games, really started to heat up a little bit. In those 4 games, he had 10.8, 14.3, 9.7, and 7.1 DraftKings points. Not bad numbers at all for a guy that's only priced at $3,500. Now, his ceiling score might be capped around 20 DraftKings points, but a guy that can definitely get you double-digit DraftKings points, which is great at this price tag here. He's going to play anywhere from 18 to 22 minutes and plays on that second power play for the Penguins as well. So he's not going to make or break the slate by any means, but just a low-priced value option that can get you double-digit DraftKings points. And then the goaltender I want to highlight for this slate is Andrei Vasilevskiy. Now, look, it's a 10-game slate. 20 different goaltenders. There's a lot more than I like than just Andrei Vasilevskiy, some low-priced option guys, but he's a guy that sticks out to me here, even though he is expensive because, well, he is yet to lose at home this year. He's 7-0, and he's 11-3-1 overall. He's averaging 18 DraftKings points over the course of his last 10 games. One of, if not the best goaltender in the NHL. So he is pricey, but I'm willing to pay up for him. Playing the Dallas Stars here, so you can bet the Stars are going to want to get revenge after losing to the Lightning in the Cup just months ago. But with that being said, I still think the Lightning get the win here. I think Vasilevskiy plays well, and I think he'll see enough shots from the Stars to where he can rack up a lot of DraftKings points. And as always, the last segment of this video, my low-priced option or sub 4K forward play. Now look, I know this isn't a sub 4K forward play, but I really wanted to talk about Alex Tuch here, and he's $4,000. So he doesn't quite meet the criteria, but he's right there. He's right on the line. So I'm going to highlight him anyway. He just got bumped up or promoted to that first line. Played really well in his first game there, had 2 goals, but he has 5 goals and 3 assists, 8 points over his last 10 games. That's hard to ignore when he's only $4,000. Now he's going to play on that second power play, but he's going to play anywhere from 16 to 20 minutes, and a guy that's just played consistently here over the past 10 games. So I know it's not technically meeting the criteria that I normally do, but damn near. He's only $4,000, which is right on the line, so I'm going to roll with him anyway as my low-priced option for Saturday. All right, everyone, that's going to wrap up the video here for today. As always, thank you all for taking the time to watch these videos. I do appreciate that. And hey, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to the Mayo Media Network. Like I said, these guys are posting content all the time. You don't want to miss out on any of that. And let us know in the comments below what line stacks, individual plays, maybe goaltenders, or just games in general that you like for Saturday. Always interested to see how other players are attacking such a large slate like this, because as I mentioned, there's a lot to love about this 10-game slate. So thanks again, everyone. Let's have a great day. Let's win some money on Saturday. I'm out of here.